Vader's nose.
I'm gonna pick Darth Vader's nose.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're recording. I don't know. It's like I don't know.
We are recording. All right.
Yeah. It's like right when I'm seeing that, I'm like, oh my god, I'll just edit out the intro, like that part, or just leave it in. Well, yeah.
Why edit that out?
Right. I'm good. Fine. I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
More content.
Fine. I'll leave it. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. All right, so we're back. We're here for talking about the Mandalorian Chapter 10. I'm back with Steve, the General Reisner, and the Just brothers, Luke and Tyler. So, yeah, I mean, let's just get right into it because there's really, in my opinion, not too much to talk about with this episode. It's a great episode for sure. It's your first general impressions that I felt with this episode. It's just that, you know, it's another adventure. It's the random adventure episode. There's not really any plot details, but I generally like it. But before I go into much into it, I guess I'll start with you, Luke. What are your general thoughts on this episode?
I think they got you with the first episode, like we were talking about earlier before we started recording. I really think they got you with the first episode, and like Steve said, that they got you with that badass fight scene to start the whole thing off. And then they had the comic relief, like right in between, like in the good parts. It's not like an awkward spot where they're like, let's try to be funny right now. Like, it was just kind of natural where they put in...
Like the sequel started to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, my favorite part, honestly, was just right there at the beginning with the jetpack. He was like, yeah, sure, you can take my jetpack. Yeah, here you go. And then he just blasts him off into the next century. So, honestly, it was a great episode. I don't really know what I could take, like, would be in another episode from this episode besides, you know, the canister or that, you know, that lady. But besides that, I mean, it was a good episode.
Yeah. What about you, Tyler?
Same thing. I mean, it was a great episode. Kept me entertained the whole time. I found it cool, though, that the past is catching up to him, though, with the X-Wing fighters and how they kind of gave him a pass there. And then we have him yet again fight another giant monster. So, what's next?
Right? Yeah, like where do you go from there? It's like he already defeated two giant, a giant worm, and then this one looked to me more like a giant spider, giant queen alien type thing. So it's pretty neat. What about you, Steve? What are your general thoughts on this episode? Oh,
I love what Tyler said there about the X-Wing pilots. That conversation at the end I thought that was a great way to end the episode, even if it didn't really give you anything more to look forward to. It was cool seeing like the X-Wing fighters give him that respect, like, yeah, we'll let you pass because you've earned it, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was just another filler episode, really.
Yeah, for sure.
But see, that's the thing is, like, I'm sure people will complain about that, but TV series need filler episodes.
Yeah.
Because if you gave me the entire story in the first two episodes, then I wouldn't watch the rest of them.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was fun. I remember talking to you yesterday. It felt like the Alien movies at the end of that.
Yeah.
Once it got to the end of that, I'm like, oh, I see what Mark's talking about. This,
right?
This is completely borrowed from Alien. The Ellen Ripley lady finally looked. She looked her part in that.
Yeah, like
it was a fun episod.
Hey, Mark, were you trying to make a pun? You asking the general for general thoughts?
No.
How did I not say something?
That's punny.
Punny.
General thoughts from the general. That's
general thoughts from the general. Yeah.
You should put something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. Wow. We're having
That's all we do.
That's all we do
here, Blue Collar. We come up with great thoughts, Steve. That's all we do.
Hey, hard work and hard facts.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of funny puns.
So what do you think, Mark?
What do I think? Well, okay, first to finish off what you're saying, no, I did not meant that as a pun. I was done saying that. I was like, oh, damn it. What did I just say?
Yo, we caught you. Don't worry.
I was like, dang it. But for me, I completely agree with Steve on the filler episode stuff. Like, fillers are not necessarily bad. From the TV shows that I've seen, I know, like, Sometimes filler is actually really fun. You get to see a new side of the character or characters on how they react rather than the main storyline. I know with Mondo, if we stick towards the whole like, I'm gonna find a Mandalorian, blah blah blah, all that stuff. If we stick to that too much, we're not really gonna see like who this guy is. And the one of the few things I really liked about this episode is we get to see him more acting like a dad, how he operates. Whenever Baby Yoda is trying to eat the little eggs, like he's like a father, like, oh, stop it, no, don't do that. And I like that. It shows that he has a general care for the child. It's not even just that, it's even like little scenes, like when that frog lady was talking about how I thought Mandalorians follow a creed and stuff. He immediately changed his mind. He's like, all right, let me just fix up this shit.
Like, God damn it, she called me.
Yeah, he's like,
right?
Yeah.
She knew about our history.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it, I guess I have
we
to
gotta wipe that part out of the lore, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's coming back to bite us in the ass.
Yeah.
I gotta call Lucas.
Right? It's like, can I just take a nap for like 5 minutes? I mean, I get the creed, but come on.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, we're in an intergalactic adventure, lady, but I need some free time.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes I just want to take a nap. Like, what the heck is wrong with that? I
jacuzzi out of the deal. She was jacuzziing it up earlier.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you got a free vacation for a few seconds. So what's the problem?
Right. Sorry, my child is trying to eat your children. I'm sorry.
Right?
How many of her kids did he eat?
He had to eat at least 4.
Dude, they were making that a joke, and like that wasn't that funny to me. I'm like, he's just eating her kids, and this is like she said this species is about to go extinct. And Yoda
this
just
is the last of their generation.
Half their
Yoda's just like,
population.
Dude, that's all I kept thinking, because like when they first showed him eating it, I was like, oh, that's cute. And then when she started like using the droid to translate for her, she's mentioning how like, oh, well, my husband sacrificed all this for and this is my last bloodline or something. I'm like, oh crap. Yeah. And then they continue on with the jokes of him eating. I'm like, y'all, like, that's actually
just popping these eggs like popcorn at the movie theater. He's just
like, it's so bad.
Yeah.
But so the thing I didn't get to mention on the last episode was, because I guess it's not really about the story, it's more background stuff. The one thing I like about The Mandalorian is the directors they get for their episodes. Like, some of the best episodes in Mandalorian are like, at least for me, were stuff like Taika Waititi, who directed Thor Ragnarok. He's the one that directed the season finale last season. So last episode,
which was pisser.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was a great episode.
Yeah, but so the last episode was directed by and I told you about that, Steve, I think I told you about that, Luke, as well, like that it was directed by Jon Favreau, and I didn't know, or maybe I did and I just forgot, but I didn't know there was like an Iron Man reference in the episode. I thought that was really cool. It was really fun.
Where at?
Yeah, do tell.
Yeah, do tell.
Yeah, what? Yeah. You didn't know that? Or
no.
Okay. Well, somebody found
curveball. We got a curveball here.
Oh my god.
Curveball.
Left field.
Okay. So, in Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie, directed by Jon Favreau, he had that one cool scene when Tony becomes Iron Man.
Yeah.
He sees the tank, shoots the missile, and then explodes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
It just little things like that. It wasn't like oh, they added in an Iron Man suit, but
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Marshall. When he shoots the
okay, that's
okay. Now that makes sense. All right.
Like, I like when directors add like a little nod to the previous movies. So the reason I bring that up is for this episode, it's directed by Peyton Reed. He's the director of his more iconic movies that people know are Bring It On, the cheerleader comedy film, and both Ant-Man movies. So I thought, okay, it makes sense. They got a comedy director. It makes sense now why there's so many jokes. I think that's what, for a filler episode, I really like the humor in this. I really like the stuff he brought. An Easter egg, someone pointed out, maybe it's two on the nose, maybe it's not, is when Amy Sedaris, the chick who looks like Ripley, when she's playing poker or something, the alien is a giant ant. And I'm like, oh, okay, because he directed Ant-Man. Maybe that's a little too coincidental, maybe, but I just thought,
There's no coincidences in the Star Wars universe, Mark.
Yeah, no, absolutely nothing is
Never.
coincidence.
Never.
True.
If it says Sky, it has something to do with Skywalker.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
That's true.
I just
Well-
like how he walked in right there on that whole scene, straight baller, and was like, "Oh, 500? Yeah, I got you. Here you go. Now give me my information." Like, no care.
Right? No,
He's
I,
like,
I love-
stakes,
Yeah.
but here you go.
Yeah, look at me.
I love how she makes she like vouches for
oh
for
yeah.
whatever the lady
like, I
with
don't
the
know.
eggs to Mando like so much. Oh no, I vouch for her with my life. Absolutely, I trust this lady.
Yeah.
Do you know the husband? No, I just met her 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. What did I
was
say?
like-
I'm about your character.
It was like
Yeah,
it was like stuff like that I freaking loved. Like that whole conversation, like, because I know her from other stuff, so I really love they added in that random like humor. I don't know if that was like on the spot or something written in the script, but it was really hilarious. And then when you mentioned the pilot scene, like all I kept thinking was the first time he meets X-Wing pilots, Mondo. I really like that random conversation. It's so awkward, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I do like when he's trying to shoo them away, he's like, "Oh, may the force be with you," and then they're like, "Oh, and also with you."
Yeah.
and as a
Ever. Why did
Huh?
they do? I like how he was so calm. He's like, "This is so lame." I just would love to see his face. Like,
yeah, dude, yeah, just the way he taught. Like, it was even earlier when he's talking to that frog lady. He was just like, "Do you speak Huttese?"
yeah.
Like, really?
He's like, I don't know what language that is you're speaking, lady.
And he's
just like, I don't speak frog, lady.
right?
yeah.
He's just so
I don't speak
tired of it.
frog, lady.
Yeah.
Because all I kept thinking was like, oh my god, this dude like a few hours ago defeated like a giant worm, and the biggest problem he's dealing with is a language barrier.
Language barrier. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just like, this is so dumb. I had a long day. But I like the joke about the force be with you thing, because coming from like my family, it's like that was a thing, being a Catholic and stuff, like, oh yeah, may the Lord be with you and also with you. And so when they said it here, I was like, oh my god, I've been saying that since I was like 5.
I always have said that, and like I actually had to like realize on my own that it wasn't from the Star Wars movies. I just did that like apparently because of my religious background that I didn't know I had.
Being on flashback. Yeah.
For a filler episode, it was fine. It was great. I got to see more of Mondo as a character. I liked the jokes in here. I had a very good time. I think what had happened, the reason I bring this whole thing up is because I read a lot of stuff on like a lot of Twitter takes. A lot of people were very like, oh, can we get back to the main story? And I'm like, okay, we're not going to see like Boba Fett in the next episode. We're not going to see as much as I wanted. We're not going to see Ahsoka the next episode that quick. That's like throwing your cards on the table too quick. It's not, or whatever that expression is.
Well, because here's the thing: is they don't want this series to be over in 2 seasons either.
Yeah,
Disney has.
They have a chance to make an
formula.
epic series.
Yes.
Like
Disney has you by your nuts. I don't care what anybody says.
Exactly.
They have you. Okay.
yeah, they own.
They
us.
know what they're doing. The mouse controls everything.
yeah, they know they do. I mean, obviously, like I have like my little like
Right.
Mandalorian
Right.
kids here. So yeah, of course they're not gonna like quickly end this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I totally understand that.
And it's not like this was just like all a background thing for 45 minutes. Like this is still entertaining.
You got a frog in the
I mean that
doesn't want
whole
that?
ending sequence was actually very well done. I thought with the spiders going after them and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda getting that thing. I didn't know what was gonna happen when the thing was
Right.
crawling on Baby Yoda's head, and then Frog Lady pulled out her own blast, and I'm like, that's right, fucking
Yeah.
Frog Lady.
Yeah. Exactly.
Frog Lady's a good shot, dude.
Yeah.
I did get flashbacks from Harry Potter with the spider scenes. I don't know if you guys watched.
Yeah.
But I did get flashbacks.
There was a they really for this whole episode, like they really went towards like a little bit of the horror element when the spiders came out. Me being a big sci-fi guy, as much as we've been saying this whole episode, I got aliens from it, but there's also like, you know, the Harry Potter stuff with the spiders. I got The Thing in my opinion, like that one scene.
Oh, the thing, yeah, the thing definitely.
Yeah, it reminded me of that.
With
like,
the fire.
Yeah. Especially like when Mondo brought out like his wrist thing and brought, like, they didn't show the full scene, but I was like, okay, that's from the thing. That's really great. I liked it. So it was a fun episode. I guess from what I was reading on Twitter, like a lot of people were having issues. I saw a bad Twitter take where someone was like, he was ranking all 10 episodes from season 1 all the way to here, and for some reason this episode was like second to the last on his favorite, and the worst episode he put was and he put like a ranking system 2 out of 10 for the last episode, and it was the gunslinger episode when he first goes to Tatooine, and I'm like, how is that a 2 out of 10? It was nothing bad. Like, and how is this a bad episode just because you don't see a Mandalorian?
That's
like,
why people shouldn't have Twitter.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that
That's
shouldn't be
why you
allowed
shouldn't
to.
have a Twitter.
Yeah.
Whoever you
Like
are.
I know that like technically everyone's supposed to be entitled to their opinions, but like
Step that guy.
some of you shouldn't be entitled to your opinions
yeah,
because your opinions are bad.
Yes.
and you should feel bad.
Yes.
Yes, and you should hit yourself over the head with a hammer because you're a moron.
So, Mark, how about I like the fact that Baby Yoda is like his kid. So he's going around getting all in trouble and shit, especially when he went and ate that spider like straight up and then turned around and he was like, Dad, now.
That was adorable. Yeah.
Yes. He's like that kid that goes to the playground and said, hey, these guys are picking on me, and they turn around and it's like a bunch of high school or college kids and you're like,
Right? Fuck. Dude, that's
I loved when Mando got robbed there at the beginning, like that whole little fight scene before the guy takes a jetpack and he's got the kid, and Mando's like, I thought it was just a badass line. Mando's like, if you hurt that child, there is nowhere in the galaxy that you're going to be able to hide from me.
I was like,
I thought that was cool because it's kind of like, I do think that for Mando. If someone hurt Baby Yoda, I think Mando would go fucking scorched earth.
Yeah. It's a bit. Oh, sorry. What?
No, the other thing was that I like how the episode from 1 to 2 is the same place.
Yeah.
He's on the speeder, and he's still on the speeder when he comes into number 2. It's not like he's in a completely different galaxy on a completely different mission.
Yeah.
They picked up right exactly where episode 1 left off and went straight into 2.
Yeah. That was the thing.
Does this dude ever have time for a cup of coffee?
No.
Yeah, right? Like that's what
poop in that suit.
He poop. Yeah.
Yeah. How did? It's a
Does
lot
he
of
take
questions.
his mask
here now.
off when he poops?
Yeah.
Is he hanging up on the hanger, like right there in the stall?
What, the helmet? Or
Yeah. Does he take his helmet off when he poops?
What about
I
when
would
he
think
has
so.
sex? Does he let girls see his own
keeps
face?
That on.
I keep
He
it
keeps
on.
it on.
I keep
He
it
doesn't
on.
want to look at whoever.
The back of it.
Yeah.
It's like right before dating on. So it's like, oh, I get it. You don't want to take off your helmet because of the creed. And he's like, yeah, the creed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the creed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's one little thing I noticed with this episode on two things. Like, we never really get to see him how his day-to-day operate. Like, I always wonder, like, how does he sleep? What does he do? And he kind of show. You see one little example. He puts like the ship on autopilot. He has his own little bunker. I like to assume since Baby Yoda's there, he doesn't take off his helmet while he's sleeping, which is kind of weird. But I would have just assumed that. And also, I really did see that. I did notice how this episode just really continued right the second after the last episode. The reason that's a big deal is because last season, the minute an episode is done, you're automatically seeing him in space. You don't know how long it's been.
Yeah.
We're just like, okay, we're just off to the next adventure. Like when he teams up with Bill Burr and all the other mercenaries, it just jumped right into it. And I was like, okay. Well, this one, it was just like, okay, he's going off into the sunset, on his speeder bike. And then the next episode, all right, second later, I'm assuming the next episode, and they do show it in the trailer. You do see like his chip damage slowly going to the planet he's going to. So I do like that aspect of we're not just jumping into random stuff. We're not going to miss anything. It's like, I feel like they probably filmed this whole season as one long movie. and and they just cut it for each chapter. So yeah, that was really cool. There was a little Easter egg that I also noticed, and I'm pretty sure y'all seen him in one of the other episodes. But one of the X-Wing pilots is Dave Filoni, who's the creator of Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was the guy that wasn't talking. It's just because it was because in his I don't know if you've ever seen it, the Gallery documentary on Disney Plus. There's a whole documentary.
I have not.
It's an 8-episode documentary series about the Mandalorian. They go into detail about like everything. They show you references to like the animated series. So if you ever like, I'm curious, they explain it there. But when they brought in Dave Filoni, like Jon Favreau, he was the one that kept like pushing him, like, dude, can you please be on this episode? And they had him and the other Mandalorian directors be X-Wing pilots. So him being
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Him being on this episode, I thought that was really like as a behind the scenes thing. Like, oh, that's fun. It really, and it's really interesting because he's directing an episode later this season, and a lot of people are speculating like cartoon characters will probably show up in there since he created that. But I just thought that was like a little Easter egg that not too people would notice, but I figured I'll just bring it up here. It's fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So I guess the only question I could say is, okay, so what do you guys predict or would you want to happen on the next episode? Like, do you want it to be another adventure, like a random one-off adventure thing, or what plot elements or anything do you want to see on the next episode?
I feel like this is a to be continued episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're gonna probably. It's gonna take. I don't think they're gonna get to that planet. Something's gonna happen to the ship traveling between the planet they're on now and trying to get to the next system over. Something's got to happen in between there, I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that's pressurized is the cabin, so something's probably going to happen right in between there. And then I would assume, like right towards the end, they're probably going to land, and he's going to meet. He's going to drop her. He's going to meet probably somebody right there, and then they'll just cut it off, probably. Something.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Tyler? What do you think?
So, I'm interested to see how they get there. I mean, so they're limping over to, and this lady sounds like it's only like, a mile, but it seems like it's been forever to get there. So to figure out what's going on with that one. But obviously the bounty hunters or whoever you want to call these people, they're after the child. So I don't know how they're finding him. I don't know how they're doing any of that. So I think that might come into play next episode as well. And that's all I got. Yeah,
and if you ever wanted to see a car from Ohio,
look at the Razor Crest.
Look at the Razor Crest at the end, because that is straight up a car from Ohio.
Straight up a car from Ohio.
Oh, okay. Well, what about you, Steve? What do you want or predict will happen in the next episode?
I think it will be like half filler and half build the story. Kind of like pretty much what Luke said is we're gonna see him finish off bringing this lady however far it is to see her husband, whatever the hell Frogman looks like.
Yeah.
Like that. We're gonna see him finish that, and like Luke said and Tyler said, something's gonna happen. That ship's not in good shape.
Yeah.
There's probably gonna be something where he has to, maybe even after he delivers her to her husband, that he has to make a deal with somebody to do something in exchange for like ship repairs or something, because that thing ain't gonna make it too long.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I did have one question, because you brought up the Bill Burr episode from last season.
Yeah.
So I kept seeing complaints on Twitter after it that Bill Burr's Boston accent was ruining the episode because the Boston accent shouldn't exist. And so that's why I'm asking you guys, because I didn't think I noticed his accent at all in that episode. I didn't know if it was just me not noticing the accent because I live here, but like it didn't seem too noticeable to me in that episode.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, honestly, I didn't hear anything. Honestly.
Yeah,
Well, like for me, I kind of noticed it a little bit, but it doesn't really take away anything from the episode because there's a line in a completely different sci-fi thing, Doctor Who. Somebody mentions to him on the first episode of the revamped series, like, if you're an alien, why do you sound like you're from the north? Like, why do you sound like you're British if you're an alien? And then he's like, oh well, all planets have a north. All planets have, whatever. So when it comes to accents in the Star Wars universe, it doesn't really bother me. Like when I hear Diego Luna in Rogue One, his, like, the way he sounds Hispanic and stuff, I like that. I think it's fine. I'm pretty sure, like, there's a planet where everyone's dialect is a little bit different. I mean, not everyone's gonna sound like white or whatever, but so everyone's gonna have like a like, oh, here's a Boston accent, oh, here's Hispanic accent.
Now there should be a Boston in the Star Wars galaxy. Is my next point.
Yeah.
Like
Right?
that. Well, I'd love to see what that looks like.
Probably on Coruscant somewhere. I don't know. I'm like, oh my god, just some random, like, they have their own what's it called? Pillar Rock or something?
Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock. Oh my god, I forgot. They have their own Plymouth Rock. It's just some ship or something. That's totally fine.
They're just getting drunk and fighting with lightsabers all the time.
Yeah.
Basically.
Bitching about sports.
Oh my gosh. When it comes to, I guess for me, like, what I predict or what I want to see in the next episode, I don't mind, and I think I agree. It's gonna be like half filler, half story driven. That was the first episode basically, and no one really. The minute people saw Boba Fett, they didn't complain that, oh, the story wasn't moving along. Like,
that's a good point. The first episode, everyone's acting like the first episode really drove the story along.
It's like you saw Boba Fett.
Not really until that last second.
Yeah. The minute you see Boba Fett, like, everyone's like, okay, I want to know what's going on with here. It just, this episode, it didn't have anything, at least like old school fans, like, oh, you're getting their attention. But there was a theory, and it's the most reaching theory I've ever heard for the next episode. So in the trailer, the official trailer, you see the ship going to this planet. You see Mondo on a boat. I'm pretty sure that's him with the frog lady going to the thing. Someone brought up the most craziest theory, which I don't think, and I might as well say it here. Oh, what's going to happen is that we're going to see them on the boat. We're going to see them go to the place. And the place is going to be Camino. It's going to be the cloning facility. And we're going to see the kid who played Boba Fett in episode 2 living there, something like that. Even though it's like, wait, no, it's, like, I'm playing a completely different character, of course, not Boba Fett. And I'm like, it bugs me because I'm like, how do you get from one theory to that? Like, that's...
If there's anything, it would be Dagobah, if anything.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
That would be my thing. It would have to be Dagobah.
Yeah. That would actually be a really cool, like, oh my god, that would be cool, because in one hand, that's a place where you would see, like, her species be, but it would also add in, like, hey, there's a little, like, nugget there of, like, actual Yoda, and there's baby Yoda there. I'm not saying that they're related or anything, but, like, maybe they might show, like, some information.
I could see them putting the hut, like, right in the background, not like up front and personal, like they're walking through the woods. They'll just plop it up in the background, kind of thing.
Yeah, you could have, like, something cool where, like, because I don't know if the Child does that, but from Jedi Fallen Order and even the Rise of Skywalker, they do have this thing where some Jedis, when they touch, like, a certain item that's important, they have, like, memories.
Vietnam flashback.
Right? They have Vietnam flashbacks of the Jedi that died. And it's very sad. And so I would think that since actual Yoda, like, he died there during Return of the Jedi, maybe baby Yoda, like, senses something, touches it, and sees, like, oh, there's another one that looks like me. That's great. But that's it's a theory. Everyone has theories about Star Wars, but I think that would actually be really cool. I would really love that. But yeah, is there any closing thoughts you all have with this thing? this episode?
No, not really. I mean, I'm just waiting for the next one. I mean, they got me. So
yeah, they have my money. It's
They
actually just took it out of my account.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I think. I
Really?
actually think I'm pretty sure my Disney Plus account got charged.
The mouse popped up on his face.
Yeah, it was either like this morning or like yesterday or something. But that $6.99 got taken out of my bank account.
Got him.
Yeah. The mouse owns me.
Yep.
Same here. I don't really have anything at least for this episode. The one thing I can say is at least I got it got my mind away from the political stuff going on. Yeah. I do think maybe I should not have woken up at 2 a.m. to watch it though, but because it was, I mean, if I known it was gonna be a filler, I would have just stayed in bed, woke up, and it would have been fine. Would have been great. All right, well, that sounds good. I do want to say one thing. This is the one thing I wanted to say before. It has nothing to do with this episode, but I want to say, hey, Tyler, thank you so much for these figures because I just got them right now this morning.
Oh, really?
Oh, perfect.
Dude, I'm like, I woke up and I was like, my brother told me, oh, you got a package. And I'm like, in the front of the house. And I'm like, what? And I didn't know, I didn't know it was coming in today. And like this, like it's so freaking awesome, dude. And I was kind of like geeking out. Like I was all thinking, like, I don't want anything for Christmas this year. I already got this stuff. This is stuff I wanted. And this thing I kind of like teared up about. Freaking Ahsoka, dude. I know it, like in this last episode and this one, and even beyond recording, like I say it on Twitter, but dude, like she's my favorite character. There's no way I would ever find this action figure, and the closest I've ever seen this here is like somebody selling it for like $75, and I'm like,
it's ridiculous. Yeah, that thing's going stupid online.
And I'm like, I can't do that. But I really do want to say, like, thank you so much, man. I know I say I'm very like shy and all this stuff, but I really do want to show my appreciation for that because it really means a lot. I do like, it's really cool. Like, hey, collecting friends. So it's really awesome, man. Really appreciate that.
No problem, man. It's funny how though I can't find anything that I'm looking for. You can't find anything you're looking for, but we live in opposite areas and find everything we need.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I was gonna. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't say it here, but like, okay, did the Power Droid come in? And second, I'm sorry about the box that came in because that's all I. It was fine. It didn't get crushed or anything.
No crush or nothing.
Dude, the past few days, all I've been thinking is like, because when I got the other packet, with 5s and Zeo Ranger Red, I was like, man, this is so neat. It's all in bubble wrap and it's in a really good box. Why the F did I put mine in a shoebox? That's all I had. That's all I had that would fit it. Like anything else would have been a
5-star eBay rating. Trying to get my
oh my gosh. So like I was just like, damn, I suck. Like I should. I don't know for sure. I'm like whenever let me know what you're looking for. I'll find it, send it to you. Yeah. I'm keeping the boxes so I could just reuse it. So that's something. But I guess that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about this episode. Before closing out, I guess we'll go starting with Steve. Your handle, where we could find you, and all that stuff. So
yeah, he's the long one. So
yeah, you can find me. The only social media app that I have actually figured out is Twitter. So you can find me at Rajner_Steven on Twitter. Usually insulting someone, pissing someone off, or something along those lines. And you can always just go to www.bluecollarmg.com and find any of the podcast articles or blogs that I'm associated with.
Luke.
Yep. So you can find me on Twitter at Hearts on Hockey. All the latest update gambling we do a hockey page. We do a college football page. You can catch me on ITL with Steve and, Ernest whenever. It's usually always on Wednesday nights. And I needed to get a picture with my dad. So
yeah, no, that's a really nice picture.
We have stunningly good chins.
Oh my god. That's a very awesome family group picture you have there. I love the stormtroopers.
I want my money, Dad.
Like, I want my hand too. God. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Kids, I don't have legs or arms, and you want money.
Oh my gosh. What about you, Tyler?
All right. As Luke said, I'm on in the Blue Lot Boys page for college football. I run that for them. We just recorded our 6th episode last night, so or 2 nights ago. So it aired yesterday. So give that a follow as well. And Steve, if you want to talk about that, we're trying to make someone's Christmas this year too. So every time you click on a link, click on a.
Oh yes. Anytime you click on a blue collar link, we'll be depositing 5 cents into our GoFundMe account that we're going to donate to 4 different charities. We're going to let the viewers, the listeners, kind of name a bunch that they want. We also have that GoFundMe page up. We'll drop a link at the bottom of this episode when it comes out. You can any dollar that you donate into that charity, we will match you dollar for dollar.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing. Like, but just a reminder, I'm going to put all your all's like info on my description here. So guys, please follow them. Please check out their podcast. They're really awesome guys. Like, I might not be like a sports aficionado, but it is really, they know their stuff, guys. They're very smart. I know, I only know stuff about geek culture and stuff. So it's like, I think these guys are awesome. But, if that's pretty much it, I really thanks guys for coming in.
Something earlier about in the episode. Is it true that the crate dragon pearls are like cyber crystals in Legends? This is what I'm hearing.
That they're kyber crystals?
They're like cyber crystals.
Oh.
They're like kyber crystals.
I
saw this out on Screen Rant. It's a movie thing I follow.
Yeah.
They're saying the pearl from the crate dragon is similar qualities as cyber crystals they use in lightsabers.
That would be cool. I never really looked too much into it on the crate dragon stuff. I would assume maybe, because I know like when it comes to like the crystals that Jedis use, I know there's like, what do you call it? They're not primarily solely like crystals you could find on a certain planet. They do reveal this on Rebels.
Say Rebels like temples, right?
Yeah. Like they get it from a different Jedi temple, but I would assume that that crystals from like that light up a lightsaber aren't primarily like on certain locations. Like they even say that in Rogue One, like that the planet that they were in, I forgot the name of it, but they also had like
Jeddah.
And so I mean it could be, I would assume because I don't think
might be a weird curveball later. Who knows?
I mean, it would be neat. Like I know the Darksaber, like they go into it in the lore, but they don't really go like, at least not yet, about the first Mandalorian that was a Force user, like how he got his crystal. I'm not saying that's primarily like, oh, he got it from a crate dragon, but I would think that that there's other ways to make a lightsaber. There's other ways to like power it up. I would think a crystal from a crate dragon makes sense. It would be cool. But I didn't think, I didn't think about that. It's legit.
I know. I meant to bring it up earlier. I just forgot.
Nah, it's all good. No, I didn't. But all right. I guess that's it for this episode. I guess on to
we're Davis on this right now too.
Yeah,
what?
I'm popping over to Davis's podcast.
Yeah. Davis hit me up like, you guys on the Zoom?
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck. Okay, all right. My bad.
It's all good. I like it.
Okay, all right. So you're all gonna go to sports stuff right now. All right, that's all good. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in, talking about this episode. I guess on to the next one, and thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Deuces.
Later.